Alright, so somehow we need to find some ways to deal with adverse selection, right? And we don't have many tools. All we know is that either that's a screening problem or that's a signaling problem. So our platforms should be designed so that we may do some screening or help some people signal their high quality. So regarding screening, what we may do? Maybe we may, for example, do these following things. So first, some platforms, they do some screening and try to screen out those guys who are really willing to be serious in finding or becoming a good candidate. So for example, some website provides very long survey. So the survey may take 20 minutes or 30 minutes to finish before you may join as a member. So they ask you a lot of questions. Where do you born? What's the favorite book? What's your favorite movie? Why is that? Provide a 300 words explanation. What's the most difficult mathematics course you have taken in your life? What's your job? Blah, blah, blah. So for all these surveys, they claim that that's going to help them find better matching through some kind of AI algorithm. But anyway, that also has one useful thing is that if you don't want to spend time to finish this long survey, that somehow shows that you are unwilling to spend time on others. That somehow means you are not serious in finding a friend here. Okay? Or there may be registration fee. Regarding registration fee, that's basically some kind of ways to deal with, again, unserious persons. Okay? If you don't want to pay $20 or $30 before you join, we don't consider you as serious. Of course, you don't see registration fees for dating websites a lot. But for some dating websites who are indeed for people to find serious candidates, basically when they are matching in the purpose of getting married, then this kind of policies appear more frequently. Okay, there may be account upgrades so that if you really cooperate with us, if you provide your credit card information, whatever, then we upgrade your account. And again, that's going to help us see that you are indeed serious in this particular dating website. Okay, so the platform may do something to try to do screening, or the platform may try to facilitate signaling by users. Okay, hopefully there can be some mechanism that a good user be able to show her or his advantages, or that serious user show her or his seriousness. Okay, so we need to provide some kind of mechanism. So we know one thing. If we want our signaling mechanism to be successful, that must satisfy one thing. One's action must be too costly for others, right? Somehow that explains why some typical things does not work. For example, in many websites, you are allowed to provide some promise, to provide some invitation messages to others, saying that, hey, I saw your face, you're really cute, and I want to have a dinner with you, blah, blah, blah. So those things are not so useful because if invitation is unlimited, if words may be copy and paste, they do not show any seriousness at all, right? That's one thing. So the company should try to find some way to avoid invitation flood, or the company should try to, in some sense, let my dream lovers show that they are really serious on me. Okay? Sometimes when we are on a dating website, we see a very, very good candidate for us. But when they show some interest to me, when they show some interest to us, we still don't believe it. So the company need to think about these issues. So regarding invitation flood, how about this? Let's set quota for each people. So some platforms, they sell invitation quota. So that means once you register, you get some free invitation quota, let's say 5. So you are free to talk to 5 girls, for example, or you are free to get connected with 5 persons. And once you use all those free ones, you may pay something to buy more. Well, is this effective? It depends, right? I guess most of us don't really trust in that. Why is that? Suppose you are allowed to buy quota. Is that able to signal how serious you are in making a relationship? It depends, right? Because whether you are rich and whether you are serious, in some sense, are different. So that's one thing. Also, we all understand that if a website is selling quota, those quota cannot be sold at a too high price. It's going to be somewhat cheap. And if it's cheap, it's even impossible to signal richness. Alright? So it's not always ineffective, but its effectiveness is limited. So sometimes it may be good actually. If you are looking at a website like this, if you are looking for your sugar baby or sugar daddy, then if that's the case, if you want to be a sugar daddy, all you need to do is to, hey, I'm rich, alright? Then in that case, probably this is helpful. But for most dating websites, I guess this is not so good. So the website is here. I have no experience on it, but if you are interested, why don't you take a look to see what do we mean by sugar baby and sugar daddy, alright? So that's considered something else. So there was once that there's a Korean dating website held an event. If you want to participate in that event, you first need to pay $50 so that you join a temporary club. So the event is held for 9 days. For the first 5 days, you may invite up to 10 persons who join this event for dating. So you send 10 invitations, okay? And among these 10 invitations, you may attach at most 2 virtual roses. So by attaching virtual roses, you simply click on a button. That's all. It does not cost anything else, but you only have 2. You cannot expand it to 3, 10, or whatever. You just have 2. And then in the last 4 days, people see invitations. Some are with virtual roses, and then they accept or reject. Okay? So it turns out we see the following. Roughly 15% of all invitations were accepted. Okay? Not all are accepted. Makes sense. And 18% would be accepted if there is a rose. So it seems that it's just 3%, not too many as an increment. But if you consider 50% as the base, that's in some sense 1/5 as your increment. That seems to be good, right? And it's interesting that if you are charming enough, then you don't respond to roles too much. Well, that's again makes sense. If you are a very, very high quality candidate, if everybody loves you, you get a lot of invitations with a lot of roses, then that's not going to be so useful, right? And if you are moderately charming, if you get some invitations and some with virtual roses, some are not, then in that case, you really care about those roses. The probability for you to accept an invitation is actually twice than that with no roses. Okay? So this is somehow a very interesting finding and also having some implications. What's that? So first, these roses are useful in general, okay? Unless you are indeed extremely charming, otherwise the rose is useful in some sense. Why the rose can be useful? I think it's because the quantity is limited, right? You are allowed to send a lot of invitation. That's fine. That's your own business. But regarding roles, you only have 2. Everybody knows that. The rule is clear. So if you have roles, you need to carefully use them. And if you receive a rose, you really know that that guy is serious. All right? So that makes sense. Okay, so that's one thing. And also, the rose is extremely useful if you send that to a moderately charming person. What does that mean? So as I mentioned, it's quite possible that there is a high quality user sending some invitation to me. And maybe I'm just moderately charming. Okay? Maybe I'm not rich. Maybe I don't teach in the United States. I don't teach in National Taiwan University. Maybe I just have a very normal job. But we all know that, well, love is blind, right? So it's still possible that one that everybody loves it, but she just like me is still possible, right? So we somehow don't believe this if there is no such roles, all right? So if you believe this person is really good, then you really need to see some proofs so that you may believe in that good things. That's why the roles is really useful for middle quality persons. Okay, so that's why we get some benefits by receiving roses, or for the website. That's why providing this mechanism seems to be useful. If you just think that that happens only for dating website, well, that's not true. In fact, that has been existing in many other situations, like job applicants. Well, recall your memory about looking for a job or hiring someone. So it's always possible that when you, as a high quality worker, you apply to a medium quality companies. Why is that? Well, everybody wants to work on Google, everybody wants to work in Facebook, and so on and so on. But when you want to look for a job, you don't just aim that high. You still think about some medium level companies. That's one reason. Or there are just some people, they are so strong, they are so productive, but they don't want to work in big companies. They just want to go here, right? That's possible. So one example may be, well, I don't know whether you like it or not. It's me. So I got my PhD at UC Berkeley. Well, many people believe this is one of the best university in the world. So I got my PhD there. My PhD is in industrial engineering and operations research. Well, what's that? We know how to use statistics, machine learning, algorithms to solve business problems in some sense. So I should be somewhat popular, either in academia or industry, right? Most of my friends in PhD years, they now work in what? American Airlines, Wall Street, Google, Facebook, Disneyland, whatever, as planners. Or they teach in London, they teach in United States, and so on and so on. So most of people believe I should stay in the United States instead of coming back to Taiwan. Well, but I always want to come back to Taiwan for no reason. I just love this place. All right? So whenever you are a company and you see some high qualification candidates, you always think about whether this person is overqualified. That's possible, right? As a Taiwanese university, whenever I go to one place and tell them that, hey, I'm thinking about teaching here, they always ask me one question: will you really come if we give you admission? All right, because most of people believe I actually want to stay in the United States. I simply apply to these universities because I want to get some guarantee. If that's the case, then there's no reason for them to hire me, right? They should spend time on some other candidates. That's reasonable. So if you are a company that typically people believe that you are a middle quality company, all right? And if you see a highly qualified or even overqualified applicant, you feel sad in some sense. You really want to hire this person, but you don't know whether they only treat you as some kind of guarantees and they are talking about Google in their mind. Or maybe they still come to your company, but maybe 2 years later, they go to Harvard to study for MBA. Maybe half a year later, after they got admitted by Google, they quit. So you really care about this overqualified thing. Regarding boys and girls, that's again the same thing. All right? So you always need some guarantees. Maybe she or him really wants to join your company, but you do need a guarantee, right? So that's why this thing happens. There's an association of economists in American, and they built an online system for fresh PhDs to send us I am serious information to at most 2 universities. What does that mean? Well, when you want to find a job, you of course send your resume to 10 universities, 20 universities, 100 universities. That's your own business, okay? But through this system, you will be allowed to send to at most 2 universities regarding a virtual roles, okay? And once a university gets that, your probability of getting an interview would be increased by roughly 25% or 30%. Especially for what? Especially for those countryside small universities like National Taiwan University here in Taipei. All right? So we do need some guarantees so that we will be willing to give this candidate a chance, right? If you see a resume that's not so effective, but if you see this particular serious message, which everybody knows you only have 2 quota, then that really means something, okay? So overall, the story is simple. Well, you need to create a mechanism so that people would be serious about it, okay? Having a quota limit can just be that useful, all right? And in fact, if you think all these are reasonable, then thinking about those 1111 or 104 or whatever job hunting websites. Well, if I am the owner of 104, I actually may think in this way, right? I am already a platform. There are already so many people hiring on my website. There are already so many people trying to find a job on my website. I, as a platform, I may talk to many companies saying that, why don't you join me as this kind of system? And I'm going to give applicants some guarantees, some serious information, some quota about virtual roles. So they don't just send the resume to you. They also send those virtual roles with limited quota. It's quite possible that this is going to help companies understand whether this guy is really interested in my company, right? That may actually be a useful mechanism. If 104 wants to do that, how about local governments? They may also want to do that, right? So this is actually one tiny example, but maybe you would also see that it may be actually applied in many different places.